Hey, Motorman here, and you should know that the biggest growing segment right now in motorcycles is the adventure bikes, adventure tourers. Harley only has one right now, the 1250, and it's over $20,000. They may be coming out with a 975, but that's not guaranteed. Anyway, there's a lot of other manufacturers you might be interested in that have several bikes in this segment, and we're going to talk about some of those now, as well as a couple other cruisers. So stay tuned. Cue the intro. This is the new Honda Transalp. Yeah, it's a funny name. Here, the photo, you see it all decked out with the panniers and the box on the back, the crash guards. Those are all accessories that Honda's going to have available. Generally, they're a little late with their accessories when they announce a new bike. In fact, this motorcycle isn't even on Honda's 2023 US website. It is on the European site, so you know the bike is coming here. It's got a parallel twin, and this is what we would call, I guess, a mid-size adventure bike. And it's starting somewhere around 11 to 12,000. I would imagine decked out, it's probably going to be closer to 14,000. I know it's going to be between 11 and 12,000 because it has to compete with the other motorcycles in this segment. And of course, it's got to come in at a couple of thousand, at least less than the Africa twin. It also has to compete with the brand new Suzuki V-Strom 800DE, which starts at about $11,349, not counting freight and surcharges and whatever the dealer's going to add. So it's a very competitive segment. Also, Honda's coming out with the new CL500, and I think this is going to be big. It's already out in Europe and Japan and many other places, but you know they're going to bring this bike here. Should be around the $6,000, $6,500 price range. It's based on the regular 500 Honda, which is a standard. And I think it's going to be big here. In fact, I'd like to get one of these if it's priced right. I'd prefer this over the adventure type bikes because it's got a little bit lower seat height. Makes it easier to get your leg up over the seat as you get older. And both the adventure tour kind of bikes and the scramblers aren't meant for serious dirt use, but, you know, packed dirt or grass, whatever. I think, an easier bike to live with. And you're not going to spend all that much time off-road. So, to me, a scrambler is more practical. Another very popular segment is the mid-size naked motorcycles. This is a new entry from Honda, the CB750 it's called. And it's a sort of a sport bike minus the fairing, with a much easier riding position, more upright riding position. They're going to have bags available for this, and tail bags and tank bags and everything you could think of if you want to go touring on this motorcycle. And of course you can. Also, this has got the parallel twin from their adventure bike. So it's a good way of making several different models out of one and just making slight changes to it. I believe this is going to be very popular again in that $8,000 to $9,000 price range. For quite a while, it was Yamaha who owned this segment with the MT-07, and this is, like I said, very competitive. Got to be priced right to compete with the other motorcycles in the middleweight segment. So I'm sure it's going to come in somewhere around the price of the MT-07, which has really owned that segment for quite a while. Another new bike in the middleweight naked bike segment is the Suzuki GSX 8S. Starting at about $88.49, also has the parallel twin from their adventure tour bike or adventure bike. And like I said, very competitive segment. All the electronics. This is a brand new motorcycle. I think it's going to do very well in that segment. Middleweight motorcycles are a lot of fun to ride, plenty fast. They make for a great commuter bike. And if you want to take a track day, these are perfect for that purpose. Honda is also adding a cruiser for 2023. This is the Rebel 1100T. T means touring. It comes with the hard saddlebags and a fairing, very similar to a Harley Davidson, I remember from a year or two ago. This bike is priced starts anyway, around $11,300, and it only comes so far with the automatic transmission. By the way, for you folks who are having a problem coordinate your clutch and throttle and think it's going to be easier to maneuver because it's got an automatic, yeah, not so much. At least that's the way it is on the Gullwing DCT. So keep that in mind. Of course, there are many other new bikes from all different manufacturers. I just mentioned a few here because these are bikes that are of interest to me. And since they're of interest to me and you watch my channel, I figured they might be of interest to you. Maybe you've got a big touring bike, a Harley Ultra or a Goldwing, whatever it may be, and you don't do so much or that much touring anymore. You'd like to downsize, or you just like to get a second bike. These are some terrific motorcycles, state-of-the-art motorcycles in their segments, and a lot of fun to ride, especially if you're used to a big, heavy cruiser type motorcycle. Finding one of these bikes or taking one for a ride, if you could find a dealer who will actually let you take one for a ride, please do so. You might find a whole different world of motorcycling besides heavyweight cruiser touring motorcycles. Thanks for watching, and I hope you subscribe. And don't forget to click that notification bell so every time I come out with a new video, you'll get to see it right away.